Welcome to ACIM Talks, Monday, November 24th, and I may as well say another official happy Thanksgiving to everyone. And I don't know, I'm just reflecting about things to be thankful for, and I was just thinking how ACIM Talks has been on now about 2.5 years. That's a lot of weeks, right? Did you
Yeah.
know it's been that long? And here you are, still coming out, suffering through for 2.5 years, right? Uh, no, I think we must be doing something right. And I'm very grateful and thankful that you're finding these sessions of value. And I was going to ask Doretha. Hey, Doretha, have you ever been to ACIM Talks before on Mondays? You have? Okay. Then I don't need
Once.
to explain too much about that then. Let's just get into it. And knowing Doretha and her long history in that, that's who it was, Kathleen. Man, I can't keep up.
Mhm.
Kathleen's here.
There she is.
There we go. Now I think we're getting into our full complement. Kathleen?
Hi.
Hi, well,
Hi.
Hi.
is your camera off intentionally?
Yeah, I have to be on my phone again. And
Okay.
it for some reason I can't access my camera on my phone.
All right. Well, the Laverne's in a similar situation, so
Mhm.
I don't know what's to be said for that synchronicity, but there you have it. Anyhow, thank you for being here, Kathleen.
Thank
Happy
you.
Thanksgiving if you didn't hear me say that already.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, indeed. We were just getting ready to get started with our talks for tonight, but as usual, anything any of you want to say, share, announce, anything like that before
Nope, I'm ready to go.
you're ready to
I am too.
go? Okay. So hopefully you got your agenda. You see that we are in our Oracle text reading tonight. Group 4 of 5 total groups, and that is chapter 23. And we had done, it's called uh, The War Against Yourself. The chapter started on page 485 in your text, just to kind of see if we can remember some of this. And page 485, and we had an introduction. And I don't know, I guess a war against yourself, how does that, that's crazy, right?
No, I always say that I'm my own worst enemy here.
You know, does anyone, thank you, does anyone else feel that way sometimes or have felt that way?
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. I'm very hard on myself. Very hard on myself.
And now that we understand that there may be another more reasonable perspective to life, uh, it does make at least me ask the question, how did I get into a predicament like that? That ain't natural. To be your own worst enemy, to be in a war against yourself.
Well,
And
that may be a little harsh or overly spoken, but I'm just a person I expect most of myself, and if I'm not doing what I think is most, I don't feel good about it.
but I'm
Um,
not so sure it's particularly harsh. I think it's for most of us, in one way or another, to one degree or another, it's just being honest. Uh,
well, maybe so.
I mean, why do we make mistakes and go down the wrong direction or things? We think things are going to work out, but when we work at it, it doesn't turn out to be. Why is there this misalignment
But you,
between
mm,
our goals and outcomes?
but
What's
one thing you said is work at it. And we, well, at least I feel that I need to learn how to go with the flow and just let the
Yes, that's probably
universe
true.
or just let spirit take care of it. So when I'm working too hard at it, it's like, stop,
Yeah,
it's so that stuck out me when you said why when we work at it.
yeah,
Sometimes we need to
mhm,
just relax and just let go, and we always
you're
say
right.
let go and let God.
I think a lot of us are in that mode now, are we not? Where more and more we try and let go and let God.
Yeah, it's just that I'm not as far along in this as as you all are, I guess. Coming
Mhm.
along.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, well, I won't go there. All right. So
Mhm.
how did it used to be? Like,
Worse.
when did you discover, about how long ago did it really occur to you about letting go and letting God as opposed to trying to control things? Do you
Well,
even
it's been mostly since I've been with you with the study now. I mean,
sure?
I'm more likely to think that and go with it than I was before.
How about the rest of you? Can you even delineate a then versus now moment? If not, that's okay. I'm
Yeah.
just
What the difference is for me is the awareness.
Yeah.
It's still happening when and
Mhm.
then but I'm aware of it and I can stop
Good.
myself and
yeah,
say,
Right.
take that deep breath and let go and remember,
right.
remember an awareness.
Yeah.
That's what has changed for me because I still have those doubts. I still have times when I'm doubting. And I remember that story where Jesus heals the little boy who had all of these spells, and the father said, I believe, but help me with my disbelief. So he believed, but right next to the belief was some doubt. So I find that with myself often. And so I'm aware of it. And then I have to get back to those affirmations and that prayer and that meditation, all those things that
Mhm,
bring me back to self, real self.
mhm. Thanks, Laverne. Other
Mhm.
Are there other comments? If not, Laverne's doing a nice segue to help me out. But other comments about seems to me like the early years of my life and even early adulthood, it was like I was sleepwalking compared to now.
Yeah.
It's like I look back on how I used to be. Not that I was ever a particular, well, to me, I wasn't a mean person or whatever, right?
Mhm.
But look back and say, what was I thinking? in how I handle those situations. I wouldn't do it that way now.
Mm.
But I wasn't always that way. And then I think about uh, Jesus's statement. You often hear where Jesus would say, "Let those who have eyes see, and who have ears hear." And I think that's another way of talking about this new awareness or realization that is dawning, has dawned on us. And we're still working through it, but it's like there are possibilities that I had never, they weren't on my radar when I was a young guy. And I just think it's a phenomenal change to where now I see. I couldn't see before. Now I can hear. I couldn't hear it before. And so, as subtle as that change was, like an opening of the mind, it was incredibly profound. And I didn't really realize it. You have to look back on it and stuff like that. So,
I think we've all been taught to be independent. Otherwise, the best thing you can do is figure it out for yourself.
yes.
And now we, or at least I know differently, I think most of us do, we need to turn it over to the Holy Spirit or over to God, a
And
higher power that knows more, that can see more than we can see.
that was
That's what's working for me.
yeah, it was incredibly profound, wasn't it? In chapter 23, this war against myself, I'm trying to stop being at war with myself. On page 486, the first section begins, and the title of that first section is The Irreconcilable Beliefs. Now, we went through that section. Does anyone know what the irreconcilable beliefs are after doing section 1? A lot of times it's not always that easy. Jesus is so elaborate and beautiful and all of those things. The irreconcilable beliefs to me are the belief in truth versus the belief in illusions. And we give credence to both. When you try and mix truth with illusion, you make truth an illusion. But when you bring illusions to truth, truth will make them disappear. So if I stay in truth 24/7, I won't see illusions. How am I doing?
Yeah.
Good.
That
If you,
that's
if you,
the challenge.
you're right, I was gonna say if you can do that, yeah.
Okay. But doing that is exactly doing that 24/7 is exactly the path. And maybe stated another way that you've heard, it's going to be 24/7 replacing seeing with vision. Vision always sees the big picture. Vision always sees from the perspective of the collective, of the whole. the practice is headed toward where you do not ever see your interest as above the interest of everyone. That's a pretty big challenge. It's impossible. I need help to do that, don't I? And they say the help is available, right?
Right.
But what we're trying to do is to reconcile two irreconcilable beliefs. As long as we hold them both as true, we make an illusion out of all of it. But if we bring the illusions to the truth will always dispel the illusions. Why? Because truth is powerful. Right?
Right.
Yes.
So fundamentally, we're getting into this chapter and talking about some of the beliefs that we hold that are illusions. Some of them you may say, oh, okay, that's an illusion. But many, many more, we have no idea. They're so ingrained in us. And now we're up to where we're going to pick up tonight. We had started this last time. It's on page 489. It's called The Laws of Chaos. So we only read a couple of paragraphs. I thought maybe we should just start that section over and continue. It's, to me, a fairly incredible discussion. And I think you'll find it gets more and more incredible as Jesus's explanation of these laws concludes. So I don't know if we'll finish it tonight. Probably not, because heck, it's got 22 paragraphs. But I think you'll enjoy it. You may need to keep your Tylenol bottle handy, but we'll do the best we can.
Mhm.
Cheryl White is our first reader, and then Joan. Laverne, yeah, you can read, right, Laverne? You be number 3. And then Doretha, are you reading, my friend? Yes, you'll be 4, and Ron is 5. Kathleen, you reading?
Yes, I can read.
All right, you'll be reader 6. So let's have a go at it. I think we'll find it quite interesting. The laws of chaos, please.
The laws of chaos. The laws of chaos can be brought to light, though never understood. Chaotic laws are hardly meaningful and therefore not of reason, out of reason's sphere. Yet they appear to be an obstacle to reason and to truth. Let us, then, look upon them calmly, that we may look beyond them, understanding what they are, not what they would maintain. It is essential it be understood what they are for, because it is their purpose to make meaningless and to attack the truth. Here are the laws that rule the world you made, and yet they govern nothing and need not be broken, merely looked upon and gone beyond.
So he's going to enumerate these laws, and show us why we do believe them. It may not be apparent that this is what we believe, but there are going to be 5 of these laws, and one will kind of follow from another, from another, from another. You'll see what we mean. But first, let's talk about the first paragraph. What's Jesus saying by way of what chaotic laws are? What? Yeah.
They're never understood.
Okay.
They're hardly meaningful and out of reason sphere.
Yeah, and they are made to attack. They're about attacking. The ego loves to attack.
So, what is the purpose of chaotic laws?
No purpose.
Okay. What if it's a rather nefarious purpose? What would their purpose be?
Well, to attack, to said that one.
Okay.
Mhm.
They don't
Sentence
govern
three,
anything.
they appear to be an obstacle to reason and to truth.
Yeah, that's why would someone, something do that? Why would someone want to propagate an obstacle to truth?
The ego wants to maintain its identity.
All right, wonderful. So, are you starting to see the rather nefarious nature of the laws that make up the ego's thought system? They are designed to distract.
Yeah.
Because distraction is the ego's technique. It compels us to follow its guidance. It gives us good reason to continue following its guidance. It's afraid that if we don't follow its guidance, we'll discover the man behind the curtain.
Yeah. Essentially, it's a way of self-sabotaging ourselves.
Okay. Okay. So the laws themselves, I agree, Laverne, are, did you say meaningless? Was that Laverne or Sherilyn or both? Right?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
I
Sure.
think I read it in the text as such.
Okay. Yeah, the laws are meaningless. But who would use meaninglessness in a nefarious way?
Ego.
The ego's thought system. What does it mean when it says, therefore, out of reason's sphere? I think we've already said it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they don't fit with reason. They don't
They make no sense.
sense.
So, those are some of the things I wanted to offer in this first paragraph to kind of show you where, but we follow these. So he's going to show it to us. Okay. So that's where I think we're headed. Any other comments or questions there? Then let's move on. Joni, paragraph 2.
The first chaotic law is that the truth is different for everyone. Like all these principles, this one maintains that each is separate and has a different set of thoughts that set him off from others. This principle evolves from the belief there is a hierarchy of illusions. Some are more valuable and therefore true. Each one establishes this for himself and makes it true by his attack on what another values. And this is justified because the values differ, and those who hold them seem to be unlike and therefore enemies.
Mm.
Was there
Mm.
a comment or what? Okay.
Mhm.
Let's do three, Laverne, and then we'll stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Think how this seems to interfere with the first principle of miracles, for this establishes degrees of truth among illusions, making it seem that some of them are harder to overcome than others. If it were realized that they are all the same and equally untrue, it would be easy then to understand that miracles apply to all of them. Errors of any kind can be corrected because they are untrue. When brought to truth instead of each other, they merely disappear. No part of nothing can be more resistant to truth than can another.
All right. So paragraphs 2 and 3 were into this first chaotic law. Do you agree that this law is that the truth is different for everyone?
Yes, yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
I do not agree that the truth is different for everyone. The truth is the truth for everyone everywhere. If it is the truth, it is not different.
Yeah, but don't you agree you hold the minority opinion of the 8 billion?
Well,
This is
okay.
yours is from weirdos like us. All right.
Okay.
But all I'm asking is, don't you agree that most people, whether they really are conscious or not, are born with the understanding that they're free to make their own individual opinions about things?
Yes, that's
And
the American way.
okay, now let's see if we can integrate that into the ego's thought system, or more commonly known in the course, the tiny mad idea. I like to think about it and call it the idea of separate heavens. The idea of individual, separate, autonomous worlds, autonomous kingdoms where you can do and be whatever you want to be, where you can construct your own separate heaven and have everything the way that you want it to be in the vacuum. Yes? Yes? Isn't that you? Isn't that us?
Well, yeah, I guess so.
So if I'm going to hallucinate that I'm an individual, a separate, autonomous being, can I have my own world? That makes sense. Can I have my own truth? Doesn't that go with being independent?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to show you the things are emanating from the idea of separate heavens. So that would make sense that you could have your truth. And yet, now that I'm bringing it up, that makes no sense that the truth is different for everyone, does it?
No.
It's just the world never brings it up because that is not the predominant insight of the world. So they don't teach it. narrow bands do, like teachers of God are trying to teach it. But we're not mainstream yet, right?
Mhm.
Most people think the truth, they can do whatever the hell they want to do. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
You seem reserved there, Miss White. I'm watching faces. Comment?
Yeah, I just think it's kind of, what do I want to say? When you talk about things the way we do, things like that don't make any sense anymore.
Yeah. But how many people are talking about this?
Not enough.
Okay. So we're in agreement with Jesus so far, given the
Yeah,
insights that we have.
yeah.
In paragraph 3, it says, uh, he's talking about the first principle of miracles. What is that first principle, Laverne Hughes?
There is no hierarchy of miracles.
Okay, no order of difficulty in miracles,
Right.
right?
Right.
Okay, miracle
Mm.
principle is no order of difficult in
Mm.
miracles, and he
One, one,
mentioned, go
one
ahead.
is not harder or bigger than the other. They're all the same. All expressions of love are maximum.
And the reason for this, he states in sentence 3 of paragraph 3, if it were realized that they are all the same and equally untrue, they would be subject to the same solution. What is the solution?
Go to your Christ mind.
They disappear.
Okay, but okay, that's true. Christ's mind, no offense. The
They
principle
disappear.
is that, Cheryl,
They disappear when they're um,
okay,
brought
errors
to truth.
of any kind, all of them can be corrected. Why?
Because they're not true.
They're not
Mhm.
true.
That's what miracles do with ease. It recognizes the sameness of illusions.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, an illusion is an illusion is an illusion.
Mhm.
You can't talk yourself around it. It's an illusion.
Yeah, but what about this illusion? I like this one better than that one.
Mhm.
What about this illusion? It's worse than that one, right?
No, they're
Okay,
all the
so
same.
Yeah.
the worst one has got to be true, and I should be afraid of that one because it's worse. No,
No, they're
it's
all the
not
same.
worse. What'd you say, Kathleen? Say it again.
An illusion is an illusion is an illusion.
And that is the great equalizer that
This-
most
You
people
know,
don't see.
and that's you can and the opposite of that is the truth is the truth is the truth. It doesn't change. What's true is true. And
Right.
what's an illusion is an illusion, and there's never shall the both, and they won't, that one never shall they meet or twain or whatever that was,
They are irreconcilable beliefs. You can't believe in truth and illusion.
No,
Believe in truth and illusion makes an illusion of the truth.
right.
You
But
cannot serve two masters. Yes,
but
Kathleen.
you can use the illusions as a lesson to bring you closer to the truth.
And that is the magic, the alchemy that the Holy Spirit uses. He
Exactly.
doesn't destroy the illusion, he changes what it is for. And that makes all the difference. What if you got $1 million and you use $1 million to swindle people? All right. I'll give you the same $1 million, except I'll change what you use it for. And now you help people. Same illusion, $1 million, but I'll use that illusion for a different purpose now. You love money, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
I'll just change what it's for, you see. Thank you. Anything else? We're on paragraph 3.
It's still an illusion, even though you change what it's for. Okay.
Yeah, but the whole illusion goes from meaninglessness
Too meaningful.
to the meaningfulness of a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to replace I'm going to switch the purpose of everything you believe in. Same stuff, different direction. Can you dig it? It's pretty cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sentence 5. When brought to truth instead of each other, they merely disappear. What's each other? When brought to truth instead of each other, what disappears?
The illusion.
The illusion.
All right. Okay. Excellent job, guys. Anything else? We're up to Doretha for 4.
In law
Oh,
of chaos. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
louder.
Yeah.
Try a little louder.
The second law of chaos, dear indeed to every worshiper of sin, is that each one must sin and therefore deserves attack and death. This principle, closely related to the first, is the demand that errors call for punishment and not correction. For the destruction of the one who makes the error places him beyond correction and beyond forgiveness. What he has done is thus interpreted as an irrevocable,
Irrevocable.
irrevocable. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let me start over. What he has done is thus interpreted as an irrevocable sentence upon himself, which God himself is powerless to overcome. Sin cannot be remitted, being the belief the Son of God can make mistakes for which his own destruction becomes inevitable.
And Ron, do 5, and then we'll talk.
Think what this seems to do to the relationship between the Father and the Son. Now it appears that they can never be one again. Excuse me. For one must always be condemned and by the other. Now are they different and enemies, and their relationship is one of opposition, just as the separate aspects of the Son meet only to conflict but not to join. One becomes weak and the other strong by his defeat, and fear of God and of each other now appears as sensible, made real by what the Son of God has done both to himself and his Creator.
Okay. Let's stop here. Your comments on paragraph 4?
It just reminds me of all the news on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
It
well,
does.
It's all about punishment and right and
Mhm.
wrong and death.
Retribution.
Yeah. And one party against each other, one war, one person. Now it's like over here, the religion with Dearborn is like, look what they're doing. It's turning into Muslim. So it's like it's just all the news is nothing but that paragraph.
and how long has this been news? For millennia?
Forever.
Different forms, same news for
Mhm.
millennia. that errors, we call them sins, right? In the Bible and stuff, but missing the mark, an error.
Error thoughts.
And they call for punishment. Does punishment correct the error?
No.
No,
How long have we had prisons?
never.
Do we still have crime?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So, how long have we seen that punishment doesn't solve the problem?
Mhm.
How long?
A long time.
Forever.
So, at the rate it's working, when do you expect it to work? How soon?
Never.
Never.
Because it's not true. When you look at something for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years, does it ever dawn on you that it don't work because it's not true? And maybe we better look for another solution? This doesn't work. This is not spiritual. This is common sense, is it not? But our
Realize what
eyes
it is.
were not. Go ahead, Ben. Go ahead.
If we all realized what it is, then we wouldn't have this nightmare of a dream. You know, this nightmare. So it would just all dissolve and end. And I
Okay.
think we
But
like
from birth, it's still being taught that error requires punishment. And we're getting ready to go into the next section, but doesn't God punish you when you sin?
Mhm.
God, oh
Well,
yes,
So we're
God
taught.
himself punishes, because remember, you're gonna go to heaven or you're gonna get punished and sent to hell. How long have you heard that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I find it interesting because it's like we got the AI, the television, all of these electronic media, and all it is just digging a deeper hole of illusion. It just taking us. Oh, we got a new level now. We got a new level of down into falsehood. It's kind of
Mhm.
really interesting. You know,
And
everybody's like,
yet,
"Oh, what AI?" But it's just another level taking us like deeper so
yes,
we can go to sleep.
but isn't AI like money? It's not AI that's the culprit. It's men's hearts. It always comes because that's the ones running AI. The AI is a tool
To
to
make you stupid.
perpetuate your will.
I
You can
said,
use it this way or you can use it that way. Laverne, you were saying something.
yeah, I was just saying it's a tool to make you stupid because you don't have to think anymore. You can just
Yeah.
ask AI and AI will do
Well, let
answers
me ask you
questions.
something. Let me ask you something. How great has your thinking been so far? How
Well, that's
great is your thinking? How great has our thinking as a species been for millions of years now? How great? How we doing?
Not so great. Not
How
so great.
many PhDs we got?
Not
You'd think
enough.
it'd be a better world. Everybody teaches you have to go and get an education, and that's how you get smart. That's how you learn to think, right?
well, now you don't have to.
Yeah.
Just ask AI.
No, let me go back further. Now you
Okay.
say you can ask AI.
Yeah.
if I go back to the beginning of time, we didn't need to think. There is a universal thinker.
I get it. Okay.
We never needed to think. We
Yes.
never needed to have separate thinking minds. What does separate thinking minds create? Starts with a C.
Chaos.
Conflict and chaos. Yeah.
Does that look like the world to you? Chaos.
Yes. Yes, it does.
Everybody's got a separate thinker. All right. You see, it's getting exciting. Ooh, right? We're only up to we're getting, well,
You know, it reminds me of I was watching these persons who do astral projecting, and he was it's a couple of them, and he's been saying pretty much the same thing with Course in Miracles, except he can see beyond the dome and all of this, and he basically is like everything is an illusion, and when you astral project, you actually know who you really are, and you realize that fear is something that we create, and no one you can't ever be destroyed. And then he made a comment about how we who people think when they astral project that he said you still the same personality, you still have your same thoughts, fears, and things that you have to overcome. And he said, and we get tricked into reincarnating again and again. So I think about the Course in Miracles, how it's trying to wake us up so we don't have to choose to even come back and keep on replaying this on many levels, many lifetimes.
yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
yeah. It dovetails into a
Mhm.
lot of other
yeah, because you know how people say that they
philosophies.
review when they die, then they review the book of life or all of that. So that's really an illusion too.
Mhm.
In the Course in Miracles, it talks about reincarnation in the manual for teachers. The title is reincarnation so? Question mark. And Jesus says, technically speaking,
No.
no. Whether you come into an illusion once or many times, you never left home. Hello?
Right.
So that is not really our issue. Our issue is, can it be helpful? Like everything else, if you choose to segment progress toward awakening, and first you did this and then you did that and you had this dream and then you got an enlightened, fine, use it. But no illusion. If you never left heaven, when did you leave heaven?
Never.
Okay, so let's just stick with that. Now, in level 2, okay, we're going to use your illusions. We're not going to destroy them. So if it's helpful, but if you use that in a dogmatic way, in a way to make you better, different from somebody else. Oh, I know all of my reincarnations and all karma and blah, blah, blah. If you're going to lord it over other people, that's where the errors are, right? Okay.
You know, it's amazing. When I look at it's like there's so many levels. Like in the Course of Miracles, like miracles collapse the levels, and I'm just like, oh, this is a level, this is a level, and it's like, and all of it is just levels of chaos.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know,
But
when whether you say you're reincarnated, you're still part of the illusion. Because if you were no longer part of the illusion wouldn't be there. And
Makes
it's just a way of making the journey different. It's a way of reinventing the illusion, and maybe this time with the reinvention, you might learn a lesson.
Oh, that's actually really good.
Or not.
Yeah, that's how I think of like the television, the AI, the computers, even this Zoom. It's basically being a teaching tool using the illusion as a teaching tool because it's just a
Exactly.
different level of a
Exactly.
level. It's like, oh,
Exactly.
yes.
And
Yes.
and AI is just a conglomerate of it takes a conglomerate of what everyone thinks and puts it in one thought. So it's not
And it's
really,
also,
it's not really thinking or inventing. It's just spitting out what everyone else thinks.
It's efficiently using all of its creators' input.
Mhm.
Exactly. Yeah.
all the
Right.
illusions together to
Yes.
come up
Yeah.
with
Mhm.
Have you
the
heard
answer.
there,
It's
there are
all
many
it makes
people,
a super illusion.
computers are dumb. They're
Yep.
just fast, but they're stupid. They're stupid because they only know how to do things one way. They do it at 182,000 miles per second, but they only follow a dumb program. Is it a dumb program? They don't make judgments. They're not averse to anything.
No,
One of the
you
things you
did that.
learn about One of
Oh,
the things you learn about computers eventually is that if it's not working, it's usually going to be a user error because the computer is too stupid to change anything. If you don't meet the protocol, it won't work for you.
And now it even says under AI opinions, it says AI, this is AI, and AI can make mistakes.
I found that out for sure.
Uh-huh.
And I found that there was this story, I saw that on the news where this teenager killed himself,
yes,
getting that advice from AI,
yes.
committed suicide.
There were
So,
3 teenagers that happened to. I saw the
hmm
congressional hearing.
hmm hmm
They even show I seen some today about attorneys were using AI to cite law cases that were not even real and
hmm
got in trouble.
Wow.
You know.
Uh,
Mm.
that's true. My computer technology goes back though to the invention of computers. Computers are fast. They are not smart.
Right.
Now AI is another iteration of that. But I'm just saying, here, you use computers a lot. Forget AI for now. It'll be so helpful. You ever say to stupid computer, because it won't work? Don't blame the computer. It only works one way. It's too stupid to work any other way. So if it's not working, where's the problem? In the computer
No
The
programmer.
user,
or it's in the user?
Yeah.
Or the solar flares.
That can impact environmental issues. At any rate, we've gotten maybe a little off on a tangent, but let's
Mhm.
get back. We've got a bit of time. I want you to see where this idea of errors deserve punishment. And then we even said, see, God operates that way, right? Everybody knows
No.
about heaven and hell and judgment day. Haven't we heard that?
Yes, in the old
Okay.
church, the
So,
tradition of church, yeah.
so the implication is not only do we follow errors deserve punishment, but even God does that. On Judgment Day, God will say you've been good and let you in heaven, or say you've been bad or error prone and punish you in hell forever and ever. Yes, no? You've heard?
No,
No, I
no.
mean, the traditional religion says that, but no.
No,
Maybe
Laverne.
a Course in Miracle
All
people
right.
believe it.
I want you to understand we're talking about what the masses
Oh, okay, yes, all right.
All right.
I
are
got
saying.
it.
We're talking of not you enlightened people,
Oh, okay.
okay? It's the law. These are folks that are still under the laws of chaos, all right?
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
All right.
All right.
All
Let's
right.
pick up. Ron, you read last.
Yes, paragraph 5 I read.
Okay. Kathleen, take us into 6. I think you'll find this one interesting, the third law.
Okay. The arrogance on which the laws of chaos stand could not be more apparent than emerges here. Here is a principle that would define what the creator of reality must be, what he must think, and what he must believe, and how he must respond believing it. It is not seen as even necessary that he be asked about the truth of what has been established for his belief. His Son can tell him this, and he has but the choice whether to take his word for it or be mistaken. This leads directly to the third preposterous belief that seems to make chaos eternal. For if God cannot be mistaken, he must accept his Son's belief in what he is and hate him for it.
So in paragraph 6, who is he? You want me to read it? Sentence 2. Here is a principle that would define what the creator of reality must be, what he must think, and what he must believe, and how he must respond believing it. Who's he?
God.
The
Okay.
creator
God.
of
The
Mm-hmm.
creator,
Creator.
God, right?
Mm-hmm.
How arrogant is it for us to define what our creator is like, how he is, how he operates? There, God decreed Judgment Day, right? Are you sure that God decreed it? Or did you decree it? Or did your ego decree it? And never stop to ask God, is God really like this? We were created in the likeness and image of God. Have you heard that? Like in the Bible?
Yes.
Are you sure that we didn't create God in our image? That we didn't say God is like us? He loves sometimes, he hates sometimes, he punishes. Isn't that how we said God is? We never asked God if that was true, did we? That's what I'm getting out of this paragraph. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're back to, let's just do one more, paragraph 7. And we're back to Cheryl and White.
See how the fear of God is reinforced by this third principle. Now it becomes impossible to turn to him for help in misery. for now he has become the enemy who caused it, to whom appeal is useless. Nor can salvation lie within the Son, whose every aspect seems to be at war with him and justified in its attack. And now is conflict made inevitable beyond the help of God. For now salvation must remain impossible because the Savior has become the enemy.
Yeah, I wanted to get that one in before we close tonight. So I'm going to call on my quiet friend up there, Joan Kazmierski, to get her view on paragraph 7. What do you think, John?
Mhm. Um,
And now it becomes impossible to turn to God for help in misery.
The enemy.
mhm. The Savior
This
has
is what has
become the
always troubled me
enemy.
about.
Hmm. Yeah, does that go along with the tiny mad idea?
For sure.
Well, all of this has its origin in the creation of another thought system of separation.
Mm-hmm.
But specifically in this context, I'm in a mess. I need a savior. I thought I could trust God, but damn, what if I've been a bad boy? And God is going to punish me.
No hope for you.
Yeah, I can't turn to me anymore because of what you said. That's not believable. I can trust God, but you know, God get pissed off too.
This
Now,
is what has
huh?
Where's the love? Where's the love? Where's the love?
There
this
is
is what
no.
has made me always think or not think or believe in the Bible and what it says because I couldn't picture God being a punishing person.
Yes.
Yes.
It's fearful. Will make you live in fear.
Okay.
You know,
So
Yeah,
why you didn't speak
doesn't
up?
make sense.
yeah,
Why you didn't
hopelessness.
speak up back then when you were a kid or when you're a young person in church? Did you get up and say, no, God's not like that?
No, how can you do
Why?
that?
They would
Why?
get spanked. Back some people got spanked with the ruler.
All right.
No,
Yeah,
no.
Okay. So you got it right. Took 60, 70 years, whatever. And now you have conviction. You were right. God's not like that. But who was,
that's why I'm in Course in Miracles.
yeah.
And
But when
that's
you're
why
a
some
little
people are
kid,
atheist.
you
Yeah.
trust all of these adults.
Yeah.
They must
Yeah.
know what's
What,
right.
what do I
They're
know?
older than
What do
me.
I know as a 10-year-old, you know?
Right? And that's
Yeah.
what they taught you to think about yourself.
Well, and even if you
They're still
expressed
teaching
it,
it.
they would try to explain, they would explain to you why what you were saying wasn't true. So
It's
I
true.
used to just sit back and in my little brain go, this is the dumbest thing I ever heard of.
Yeah,
Now, let me ask you this. How many billions of other kids felt God wasn't like that also?
not enough.
They did what you did. How
Hmm.
many out there now in their hearts say, that don't sound right, but
I
they
think
can't?
almost all of them, but I think
Yeah,
we shut them down real fast because they're more
yep,
connected
yep,
to their soul or spirit when they're little, and then we start, pounding in
Yeah.
our information of lies
yep.
and
And
chaos.
then they become atheists because they're like, mm-mm.
Yeah,
You know.
Earth,
we lose
wind,
them.
and fire. A child is born with a heart of gold. The ways of the world makes their hearts so cold.
Oh,
this wisdom is around. It's just not the preponderance enough to change the world.
Right.
But it's solid wisdom. It makes sense. If we could ever get rid of these chaotic laws that everyone's indoctrinated with.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you see how eyes are being opened with conversations like these?
I wish it was happening faster with more people.
But there is no I. You with me?
Mm-hmm.
So,
It's going to happen when it's supposed to happen. Why would I leave that up to you? Why? Why would I leave it up to your ego? Why? Not just Cheryl, I mean me, everybody, right?
Right.
This is the understanding that will take us into our careers as teachers of God. Everything is all right. Everything is going according to plan. Love holds no grievances. It's all right. Now you can be a peacemaker with brothers and sisters. Now you can offer them something, right?
Mhm.
But if
Mm-hmm.
you don't have it, you can't offer it. So we're getting into some good foundation of what teachers have got, what their mindset is, what it's based on. And they need to feel good about that, you see. Then they can go out and just be it, right? It won't be much work. They'll demonstrate it. It'll overflow from them in their actions. So we're going to leave laws of chaos right here. We'll pick up with paragraph 8. Is this worth your time?
yes.
Yes.
All right. Want to make sure you're not saying, dang, I could be doing something else. Thank you
Nope.
all for coming
I
out.
think we all knew that, but we all prefer to be here. So
Yes.
Dang, I
yeah.
could have been doing some chaos.
Well, thank you all for joining us tonight. And any final other comments or anything?
No, thank you.
Yeah, just to remember
Yeah,
that.
thank you, Jim. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you,
will
Jim.
see you guys soon. Peace and
Okay.
love, okay?
All right.
Tomorrow.
Okay.